Hey guys, we go to 3-0, so that's exciting for everybody. Big win, very difficult team to prepare for. Have a lot of respect for how Air Force plays the game and what they embody as a program, and glad to get out of this with a win. I thought offensively, threw the ball, had a lot of explosive plays. Aaron Burbridge has a big game. Cook has a big game. No turnovers. Didn't hurt ourselves with many penalties. So that's the positive. From a negative standpoint, we've got to run the ball more effectively and protect the quarterback better, which has not been the problem. But they put a lot of guys up there and brought a lot of pressure, so we need to be able to handle those situations with play calling or with or just, in execution. So you take the good with the bad as you move forward. Defensively, started fast, had some big goal line stands, came up with 3 turnovers, 1 for a score, another one to turn back a potential touchdown. So I thought we played pretty well, but then giving up some easy plays, and they always seem to find a way to set up a different variation of the offense and get an extra guy out there. So, you got to be able to change with the times a little bit as the game progresses, and giving up the last 2 touchdowns really were the things that were disappointing. So, but you live with it and you move on. Specialty wise, I thought we played well on special teams with the exception of the 1 field goal, and we just got to get it up, give ourselves a chance. But big win. What I asked our players is to match our opponents, the Air Force Academy, in intensity and in terms of playing with respect. And I thought we did that. I thought we played extremely hard, and you didn't see a lot of crap out there, and we just performed and got the win. So got a little close at the end, but we keep moving. So we're 3-0 and moving. I'll take questions.
Mark, you mentioned the last 2 touchdowns for Air Force. You were chewing pretty hard on your guys on the sideline. What was it that you saw that bothered you so much?
Well, a guy open usually bothers the head coach, wide open, especially when it was the time before. But, it's difficult because they changed the variation of the option, and we're moving our secondary and trying to spin our secondary to compensate, because they're always seeming to have one guy. So the safety's got to go over top to the X or not, or the corner doesn't jump to the pitch or not. Okay, so I'm not sure exactly the variation that they ran on that particular play, because it happened very quickly. But the play before it, I can tell you, the play before it was a touchdown too, and that's exasperating when that happens. So I'm not pointing fingers until you see the film, but all we're trying to do is match people and trying to make sure that we're as diverse as we can in executing the plan, and that means everybody has to do their job. When we're up 35-7 and they're on the option and clipping off 15 yards of play at the end of the game, we got to do something to compensate for that. We just can't let them go down the field like that. Then they throw it. I guess, I was getting after people. I don't know. I may have been wrong, though.
Coach, your reaction to the Riley Bullet targeting ejection, their interpretation of that, their explanation to you, and do you feel the rule needs to be changed in any way?
Well, I was disappointed because I don't think he intentionally targeted a guy, and I think that's usually the rule. So you don't want to. I just think he was running to the ball, and the ball was thrown, and he's trying to make a play on the ball, and they hit. So, but I've tried to learn to not change it. I can't control those things. That's what they're there for. They have to make the call, and we have to live with the call. But there's been other calls before in the past that are close calls. All of those are close calls. I don't think it was intentional. So we'll go from there.
Mark, obviously, Connor and Aaron have a good thing going on right now. Does it remind you at all of Connor and Tony a year ago? And did you see this coming before the season started?
Yeah, I've always thought Aaron Burbridge is an outstanding receiver. And, we've had a lot of good receivers here. And there are, guys playing in the NFL that bears that out at receiver. So he's been playing since he's been a true freshman. He's had big plays here in the past. Tony Lippett got more balls maybe last year. A little bit. He's playing the X position, so there may be more balls coming to him by virtue of that position some. But he had an outstanding game. And what he does is he makes those 50-50 catches, those difficult catches, those acrobatic catches. People are hanging on him. He's making the play. So great game and big plays. Big plays ultimately on the offensive side of the ball is what won the game for him. 4 touchdown passes by Cook. Great job there. I had to see the replay. It was a bang play, I think. But I thought that when when I saw the replay, I thought it was down. I thought he had the catch and a tap. But, that's why they made the call, I guess. Great effort. But that's Aaron Burbridge. He plays with great effort, and he's going to hang himself out there to make the catch.
Mark, when you look back at this game film, how much can you really use this going forward? Is it more about the discipline factor of assignments for players, or is it actually where the breakdowns were?
Well, I think you look at things and correct things, and you learn from it and put this in the bank and say, this is the way that we did this. Now, what variations can we create, and how do we change this, and we critique it? The thing that you would be disappointed in is missed tackles and guys getting knocked on their feet when their blocks are straight up. Okay, but it'll be a different offense next week, so we'll go back to what we do a little bit more, but there's components of it that you will use. So I think it's always a learning experience. There's no question. Anytime you play in a game, it's a learning experience. So we lined up and played hard. On our offensive side of the ball, there are things that we will see. So we need to make changes or just corrections.
Mark, R.J. Williamson gets a couple more big plays, returns a kick, and the interception late, and Harlan was talking about how he just seems to be around the ball. I guess, just how do you see him? Just talk about his play overall.
Great. I thought he played very, very well. I thought he played well, pretty well on the whole defensive side of the ball, but big plays with the scoop for a touchdown and then a big interception, as they came in the red zone. And then, also I thought the onside kick, another big play. So he has 3 big plays there in the football game, But he's a guy who's played football for us for 4 years. He's a senior, and if you're going to have great years, your seniors have to rise up and play their best. And I think he's doing that right now. I'm sure there's some things he wishes he could have done better, but he's a confident player, and he's a leader back there.
Mark, you played a lot of players throughout this game, but was there any particular reason why you left a lot of the starters in to the very end?
Well, we were playing a lot of people up front. We were playing 8 guys up front. We were playing, 7 linebackers. Shane Jones played, Chris Jones played, 5. Played some guys in the secondary. But, I really never felt the game was out of reach. It was 35-7, but when we didn't make it on 4th down, and 4th and 1, all of a sudden, to me, it sort of changed the complexion of the game when they hit it, made it 35-14. But we've got different guys in there. We played, I think, 6 defensive backs, I believe. So we played a lot of guys, and they're an up-tempo team, no-huddle team, and very, very difficult to go in, I think, and adjust to the speed of the game if you haven't played in this football game defensively. Because the speed of the game that they show is big time, guys, and the variations they show, and you adjust to it as you play. And if you got to put a guy in there fresh, you might as well just say he's getting chopped. Okay, so that's, we had to play. We didn't want them to score points, and we wanted to put the game out of reach. I don't know if it was out of reach at the end or not. Maybe, to the common man, maybe, not to the common coach.
Mark, you challenged your seniors this week to, make sure that they keep their focus and don't let the bottom fall out at any time. Do you feel that they did a good enough job? And secondly, what did you learn about your team this week?
Yeah, I think our guys came to play. As I said on the radio, I think we're 25 or 26-4 after a big game. We're 26-4 the next game. Win or loss in the big game. 26-4, I believe, for the last 7 years. I thought we came out and played with energy. I thought, as I said, that we played with intensity. We went 3 and out on the first series defensively, and got a score on the first series. So started the game very fast. So I thought our guys did that. I thought our seniors did that, and we'll continue to move as they move. And that's the good thing about a team. Your seniors continue to move forward and rise up in terms of the class that they're in, and they have an opportunity to lead.
Mark, I assume it was planned in advance to go over with the Air Force kids for their alma mater afterwards. Whose idea was that? And
Coach Burton, who coached the Air Force Academy, said that that's a tradition that's held at every place that they play, that they sort of wait until the Air Force players go down and listen to their fight songs. So we wanted to do that out of respect for them and what they mean to this country.
Mark, when after Michael Geiger's kick was low, what did you say to him afterwards? And was that just a kick being low, or is it something with the hold or anything else there that you can talk about?
Yeah, the kick was very low. the guy in the back of his pants. Okay? But, yeah, obviously I told him to get it up. Right? But I said, more importantly, I just want the guys down there. I want guys to compete. I don't care if he misses a kick. I don't care if we don't punt right. I don't care. I don't care if we miss a tackle. I care that we compete. That's all I'm concerned about. You come and you compete. Stand down by me when we're getting ready to go into the kick. Don't stand down there at the end and then come on stage. Get down by me and let's go kick the ball through the uprights. And that's all I said.